What is going on, SHIB Army? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you on. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about Shiba Inu and the Shibarium documents that have just been released. Now, remember, as always, I like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor, just putting you guys on the plays that I'm in. And if you are new around here, consider smashing the like button down below and subscribing to the channel. So let's go ahead and dive right in. The crypto market continues to experience some significant volatility. The question right now in play is, will we decouple from the other markets, including the stock market and others alike? Bitcoin currently sitting at 27.6 as it wants to break through 28,500, but it continues to have some extreme volatility. We saw yesterday, it did come down to right around 26.2 or 27.2, excuse me, but bouncing off that support line, we are testing higher lows after every significant sell-off over the last pretty much 48 to 72 hours. But now we're just wondering what will come next and what is going to happen to crypto. Now, Shiba Inu doing pretty much the same thing, currently sitting at 10,640 Satoshis, also falling yesterday below 10,400, but now again, rebounding quite nicely and holding strong. Volume has been kind of lackluster, $160 million exchanging hands of traders, down 18% day over day. But that's not stopping the team from building this ecosystem out. So before I dive in, remember there are 17 free stocks waiting for you down in the description. You just got to follow the steps. They're all laid out perfectly for you. You deposit $0, you get a free stock, free level 2 margin trading. And if you deposit 100, that's 7 free stocks. And then if you deposit 1,000, 17 more, or total, coming your way. You have 6 more days to take advantage of this specific offer. Now, the official SHIB Twitter account. Hi, SHIB Army. We are happy to announce that Shibarium's testnet is running again. You can now access the documents to learn how to set up your equipment and understand how Shibarium works. You will find a document here. And I think they started it off by, highlighting some of the most key things that we need to always keep in mind when it comes to Shibarium. And this was always the vision of Ryoshi, the founder and the main developer who created this token, and of course has vanished ever since. Shibarium was first proposed by Ryoshi, the creator of Shiba Inu, as a blockchain layer 2 solution. Ryoshi believed that to achieve decentralization, a community must have its own low-cost blockchain solution. And for this reason, Shibarium was presented as one of the primary goals of Shiba Inu experiment, as it theoretically would reduce the transaction fees for those involved in the Shiba Inu ecosystem. To continue, Ryoshi initially stated that Shibarium's transaction fees would be minimal, if not zero. Shibarium will now offer low fees for every service, game, or application built on it, explained the Shiba project lead, who goes by the name of Satoshi Kusama. Seconds for less than pennies is the goal to turnaround time for transactions. Although one of the most secure blockchain in existence, Ethereum faces a number of challenges, including high gas fees and not as fast of transaction speeds as we see on other blockchains, like, for example, HBAR or the Hedera Hashgraph network. The Shiboshi NFTs were affected by heavy gas fees as Shiba Inu relied heavily on the Ethereum network. In the same vein as other projects, Shibarium, the layer 2 solution, will also feature a simple and effective SHIB burning mechanism, and moreover, Shibarium is designed to facilitate it and may also serve as a bridge between different ecosystems. So you can go ahead and read through all the details, including deploying smart contracts. Now that you have Shibarium, let's deploy a contract. It shows you literally how to do it. So for those of you that are trying to become, more developers in the space, learn how to create things, they show you how to do that step by step. MetaMask installation and Web3 RPC URL, the architecture behind it, security models, the staking and validator. So for those of you who are interested in staking, I'll probably create a separate video for that. Delegate with the testnet, validate with the testnet, and you can see all the things stated there. The staking manager, and shows you some of the details regarding how to restake, the signers, the rewards. It's pretty significant stuff, and this is really what's going to push our network to the next level and the entire ecosystem. But I think what matters most to all of you that are viewing is highlighting the burn mechanism. And I've seen social media and people are kind of feeling indifferent. But I think what we need to realize is it's quite significant if we look at what volume looked like when the market was at least having a little bit more of a bullish momentum or sentiment compared to today. When a user makes a transaction on the network, the base fee is locked on a contract on Shibarium, while the priority fee is paid to the validator. This base fee will be split into a 70% burned and 30% set aside to maintain the network. Once a certain amount of bone, $25,000, is accumulated in the burn contract, users can start the burn process from Shibarium. Once this process starts, accumulated bone are sent to Ethereum's layer 1, where an automated swap for SHIB takes place, and this amount gets burned, calling its contract function. It is comparable to a withdrawal transaction, but instead of receiving tokens, they are burned and taken out of supply forever. Users will be able to use a specific portal for Shibarium's website for this process, and you could see some of the details that they outlined there in terms of the initial burn. And what is the difference between the base fee and the priority fee? The base fee is a crucial component of transaction for each blockchain. It represents the minimum amount that a transaction must pay in order to be considered valid. The base fee can fluctuate with each block and is influenced by a level of congestion in the network. Specifically, if the previous block is close to being full, the base fee will increase and vice versa. So remember, people are saying, the whole thing with Shibarium is to reduce gas fees. So if it's going to be a penny or less for every transaction, how's that going to burn much tokens? Well, what you got to realize is maybe during slower market movement or slower market times, right? If you look at the Ethereum network, for example, and we look at GUI, depending on how high GUI is, that's really what's going to impact the price of gas, right? The higher the GUI, the higher the gas fee. So with that being said, you got to think about it the same. And how does GUI go up? It's network congestion. Same thing for Shibarium. If network is congested from a cent, it can go 10x to 10 cents, 50 cents, maybe even $1. But Ethereum was hundreds of dollars that we saw that you have to spend to let a transaction actually transact and validate. So here's an example that they laid out. Let's say the current base fee on Shibarium network is X bone and the priority fee for a particular transaction is set as Y bone. When a validator includes a transaction in a block, they will receive a Y bone priority fee as a reward for including the transaction. However, the X bone base fee is not paid to the validator. Instead, it is converted into SHIB and burned, which means it is removed from circulation and effectively reduces the supply of SHIB over time. The mechanisms help to prevent inflation and ensures the miners' validators do not have an incentive to artificially increase the base fee in order to earn more rewards. So, Shiba Inu, right now, day to day, it does fluctuate, right? Relative to all-time high, but I'd say pretty much since June till now, volume goes anywhere between 100 million to about $1 billion throughout all of the daily volume on exchanges. Okay. Now, if we take that volume and let's just make some assumptions, hypotheticals. If we take 10%, so if $1 billion, $1 billion of trade volume, 10% of that comes into Shibarium, right? So not a massive number, but again, if we take 10% of $1 billion, we're looking at $100 million exchanging the hands of traders, right? And depending on the amount per transaction, you can see that we can make some assumptions. Let's just say on a day-to-day average, I'm just averaging numbers out and doing some big hypotheticals here. If we have $100 million worth of transactions, let's just say 10 million for the sake of hypotheticals and to bring the number more down to be more conservative. $10 million exchanged the hands of traders. Average transaction volume, let's assume $100. I don't know. So, a few thousand transactions, let's just say every single day on Shibarium, let's say 10,000 transactions at a penny each, that's not going to impact the price action much at all, right? But 10x that, 100x it, 1,000x it as volume continues to increase, especially during better sentiment times of the market. So I'm talking from $100 million to now tens of billions of dollars being trading the hands of traders. That becomes kind of significant. So if I just pull up a calculator here and we just put in, let's just assume we go with that $10 million that's exchanging the hands of traders. So let's see, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, right? And we'll assume $100 per transaction. That's about 100,000 transactions on Shibarium a day. Okay, that's a pretty big number, but with millions of people holding Shiba Inu, 1.4 million wallets, I think we can maybe use those hypotheticals. Why not? But again, remember, this is just hypothetical. If we multiply that by about a cent, so 0.01, might be even less, that's $1,000 a day. $1,000 a day of SHIB burns is not enough. It really isn't. Now, I could be undermining a lot of different things, but understand that what I think here is when we see the majority of Shiba Inu token holders start utilizing Shibarium, that's when the true effect will actually come out. From $1,000 to $10,000 to $100,000 maybe of burns. If we could see those kind of numbers day over day in months, maybe even a year, now we are talking. So we'll see. Again, this is all testnet. This is primary. Gas fees could go up significantly. If it's a few dollars per transaction and 70% of that is burned, now we're talking. So we'll see exactly what happens. I know right now people are just kind of all over the place, but I think the developers know what they're doing. And I think this is going to be the start of what will be the most deflationary we have ever seen Shiba Inu since we saw it launch. I should say at least after maybe VB sent it or sent a significant amount of tokens that he received to the burn address. Appreciate your support as always. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That's all I have for you guys today. And until next time, everybody, as always, keep investing. Peace.